Handicapper Steve here, handicapping the racing from Churchill Downs here on Friday. It is the 30th of April 2021. It's Kentucky Oaks Day from Churchill, and I'm going to look at the Kentucky Oaks and all the other stakes races on the program. But before I get on to that, remember to please follow me on Twitter at Horse Racing Kit 5 for more selections for race courses around the world. And also join me tomorrow for my Kentucky Derby preview, and also tomorrow for my 2000 Guineas preview from Newmarket. But it's an excellent Oaks Day card from Churchill. We're going to look at all the stakes races 6 through 11, all conveniently packed in an all stakes pick 6 for 20 cents. So let's look at it right now. Starting off with the sixth race from Churchill, which is the Alysheba Stakes. Grade 2 event going for a purse $400,000. Race for 4-year-olds and upwards. 6 horses, but quality 6 horses are going to the main track. The distance of ground of 1,700 meters, if you want to go by that, or the distance of ground of a mile and 1/16th on the Churchill main track. 1,700 meters, mile 1/16th, and I show the diagram. It just gives me a second to look down my notes, so just bear with me. My top selection, I don't think anybody's going to beat Maxfield, the 6 horse. We'll go 6-4-1-5 in the superfecta, though. 6-4-1-5 super. Top selection of 6 horse Maxfield is 4-year-old colt by Street Sense. Brendan Walsh trains. Jose Ortiz picks up the mount. The horse's most recent outing came at Santa Anita on the 6th of March. Mile a quarter in the Santa Anita handicap, and the horse finished third by 2 lengths and was very, lackadaisical early on. Sat back early, a little bit of a turn of foot late, but Idle, who's basically bred for a mile a quarter through and through, ran a good race and just kept going. This horse just never got going. Back to the home base at Churchill. He's in a more realistic spot to win with the cutback and trip also. 2 back in the Mineshaft Stakes at the Fairgrounds, mile 16, 13th of February. He won by 3 1/4 lengths. Again, sitting back early after not the best beginning, a little bit wide, but when he got the turn of foot, he got the job done, beating some of the horses that he's facing today home that day. And then prior to that, the Tenacious Stakes at the Fairgrounds, mile 16th to 19th of December. First off, the long refreshing, he won by 2 1/2 lengths. He stalked that day a little bit wide, but he still got the job done, winning very, very easily. And then prior to that, in the Mount Win Stakes here at Churchill, mile 16th in late May, he won by length, closing up from nowhere after a little bit of a horrible beginning. He still got the job done. He's training well. Back to a mile 16th, 4-5. That's the only thing that's bad about him today is the price, but he should win on paper. Single to start off this pick 6. So to recap my selection for the 6th from Churchill, it is the Grade 2 Alysheba Stakes. Let's take the 6 horse Maxfield, 6-4-1-5 in the superfecta, single 6 in this pick 6. Let's get to race number 7 to the lawn with this one, which is the Edgewood Stakes. It's a Grade 2 event going for a purse of $300,000. Race for 3-year-old fillies here. We have 7 horses heading to the Mount Win Turf course. The distance of ground of 1,700 meters, or the distance of ground of a mile and 16th on the turf course. 1,700 meters, a mile 16th. Portable rails are down for the first time all meeting, so the rail is at the hedge, the true position, and the turf course should have some moisture in it from rain showers on Thursday, so handicap this for a little bit of a good to soft kind of going. But the top selection here in the Edgewood, I'm gonna go take the number 2 horse Gift List. We'll go 2-6-5-1 in the superfecta, 2-6-5-1 super. Top selection of 2 horse Gift List. 3-year-old filly by Bated Breath. Brian Lynch trains. Javier Castellano gets the mount. The horse's most recent outing came in the Grade 2 Appalachian at Keelan on a good turf course, 1 mile the 3rd of April, and the horse finished second by 1.5 lengths. Kind of stalked out of the gate all the way around the race course, a little bit wide, but was closing up well late. Not 100% fresh off the break, but it wasn't the world's worst North America debut. Coming here today, second off the bench with a longer trip of ground, I think the horse is in a very realistic spot to win. Prior to the 3rd of April race, the horse is running in the UK. Most recent race in the UK came on the 24th of October in Newbury. 7 furlongs in the Radley Stakes, just a regular listed stakes. He finished second by 2.5 lengths and was down the straightaway there at Newbury. And he just had a good tracking position, never could quicken up late. Maybe the heavy ground got to him and couldn't get a good handle of it. But I've seen a lot worse races there. And then prior to that, in a novice race at Newmarket, 6 furlongs on soft ground, the 3rd of October, he finished second by 4.5 lengths. Again, he just couldn't get the good turn of foot late. Also, I do think the trip of ground was just a little bit too short, the 6th there. And then prior to that, Red Car, soft ground, 7 furlongs late August in a novice race, winning by 4.5 lengths there. The horse just took off clear, proves that he probably wants a longer run, or she wants a longer run. Gonna get it today, trading well here at Churchill. Should handle slight give in the ground, not like the heavy stuff that the horse saw in the UK last summer. At 7-2, a very likely winner, I think. Don't throw out the 6 horse and Pearl. She's 4-5, but her races as a 2-year-old are very nicely run. Through filly by Lupe de Vega. I like betting Lupe de Vega horses at the mile trip or mile 16th, like you're going to see today. The horse's most recent outing came in the Brews Cup Juvenile Fillies Turf at Keelan, 1 mile there, and the horse went by 2.5 lengths. And on the front and all throughout, this horse just ran a terrific race. Before then, the Jessamine at Keelan, the horse went by 2.5 lengths again on the front and all throughout, a very easy race. And then last year's Derby meeting here at Churchill in early September, a 1 mile in Main Specialway, winning by 5 again on the front and all throughout. This horse just had everything and more. Probably going to go to the front end and off the bench. They're going to see how far can she go. Can she run off the bench? That's my biggest question with her. I do, like I said, I think Gift List is going to have the freshness factor on her, and I think she's going to be on the up and up here. So we'll use her as a top selection. But on Pearl, if she shows her 2-year-old form today, she could definitely win against these horses with the improvement to the 3-year-old campaign. But to recount my selection for the 7th from Churchill, it is the Edgewood Stakes, the Grade 3 Edgewood, or Grade 2 Edgewood. Going to take the 2 horse Gift List as a top selection. Give kudos to the 6 horse and Pearl. 2-6, 5-1 superfecta, 2-6 in the multi-race. The 8th race now from Churchill. It's the Troienne Stakes. It's a Grade 1 event going for a purse $500,000. Races for fillies, mares, 4-year-olds, and upwards. We have a field of 7 horses heading to the main track. The distance of ground is 1,700 meters, if you want to go by that, or the distance of ground of 1 mile and 1/16 on the Churchill main track. 1,700 meters, 1 mile 1/16 here in the Troienne. My top selection, I'm going to go with the number 5 horse here, Paris Lights. We'll go 5-2-3-6 in the superfecta. 5-2-3-6 super. Top selection of 5 horse, Paris Lights, is 4-year-old Philibert Curlin. Bill Montrain's Tire Like Affleone picks up the mount. The horse's most recent outing came the 2nd of April here in New York in Aqueduct. 7 furlongs in the distaff handicap, and the horse went by a half length and basically had a dream trip from a stalking position, can't speak now. Basically, the horse stalked all the way around the race course, got the lead, quickened up nicely, never really got to the bottom of the horse, earning 85 by return to the races. It was a good race. Back around 2 turns again here today, 2nd off the bench. I think the horse should really improve a lot. 2 back in the coaching club, American Oaks at Saratoga, Mount Nathan on the 18th of July. The horse went by head and basically, stalked all the way around the race course and fought a good race to the wire and fought back to get the victory. A very game performance there. And then prior to that here at Churchill on the 27th of June, mile 16th in the allowance race, 79,000. The horse went by 3 1/4 lengths, was just tracking most of the race. When she got the lead, she just kept going and kept going. If the race was a mile and 1/8, probably would have won by a dozen. But still ran a terrific race there. And then prior to that here at Churchill in late May, mile 16th in maiden special weight, 72,000. First start around 2 turns, the horse went by 6 3/4 lengths, and again could have won by more. Geared down late, an all around good race. Beat some decent horses home as a 3-year-old, 4-year-old campaign. And like that, they tried the horse first off the bench with the distaff. Now coming here to the longer trip against quality horses at 8-1. I think this horse is on the up and up, so let's use her. You can't throw out the 2 horse. She's a daredevil. For filly by Daredevil here. Brad Cox trains. Florent Giroux gets him out. Most recently, they ran the horse in the Azaria, where the horse won by a head. And again, basically on the front and all throughout, really fought a good race to the wire, not being 100% fresh. 2nd off the bench, back to Churchill, where this horse likes to run. I think she's sitting on a very good run. Prior to that, in the Spinster, it was a head scratcher where she finished 3rd by 3 1/2 lengths. She just didn't have a lot left in the tank late there. That Keelan track in the fall, you either handle it or don't, I've noticed. Dunbar Road, as a 2-year-old, didn't handle it. And this horse, as a 3-year-old last year, didn't handle it either in that Spinster. Really just could never get a piece of it there. But before that, won the Kentucky Oaks very easily over this track, earning a career best 101 buyer, and then won the Indiana Oaks before that by 5. Another very good race. At 8-5, could definitely win. And don't throw out the veteran 3 horse, Dunbar Road. Her last 2 races were very disappointing, but if she could show the form like the Shawnee race last year here at Churchill, or even the Delaware Handicap, the horse could definitely win. But she does run these head scratchers sometimes, and she also, when she gets to the front, it looks like she kind of stops and, just wants to run with her, not excelling. But at 5-2, if she could run, like those Delaware Handicap races, she could definitely win here. But we'll use her on the multis in this pick 6. But to recount my selection for the 8th from Churchill, it's the Grade 1, $500,000 La Troienne. As a top selection, we'll take the 5 horse Paris Lights, give kudos to the 2 horse, she's Daredevil, and the 3 horse Dunbar Road, 5-2-3-6 super, 5-2-3 in the multi-race. Now this 9th race from Churchill, it's a head scratcher because it could go so many ways. In the 9th race, it is the 8 Bell Stakes, Grade 2 purse, $300,000 races for fillies 3-year-olds. We have a field of 12 horses heading to the starting gate. the distance of ground of 1,400 meters, or the distance of ground of 7 furlongs on the Churchill main track. 1,400 meters, 7 furlongs, main track here in the 8 Bells. My top selection, we're going to go take the number 7 horse, Obligatory. I'm going to go 7, 6, 10, 5 in the superfecta. 7, 6, 10, 5 super. And to tell you the truth, we're using all 4 of these horses in this pick 6. The top selection is 7 horse, Obligatory. This 3-year-old Philip at Curlin, Bill Montrains, Jed Owens, Jose Ortiz gets the mount. Most recently, they tried the horse rounding at the Fairgrounds, mile 16th in the Fairgrounds Oak. She finished 4th by 7.5 lengths, and she really never showed up. Couldn't go around the 2 turns. It wasn't the day to win. Cutting back to a 7 furlong trip, a little lesser quality horses. I think the horse is in a better spot to win. The most recent race, kind of sprinting, came on the 7th of February at Gulfstream, 1 mile in the main specialway for 40,000, and the horse won by 2 1/4 lengths there. Didn't break so well that day. I've seen worse breaks and better breaks though, but sat back early, but had a great turn of foot around the far turn, quickened up nicely when she got to the front end, and kept going. A 79 buyer, if she runs that race today with the improvement, I think she could really, go a long way there. An all-around good maiden race there for her. And then prior to that, though, in her debut at Belmont, 18th of October at Belmont, 6 furlongs main special, 88,000, finished 4th by 8 lengths there. She didn't break so well that day, and she's kind of behind the 8 ball, never was getting into it, a little lackadaisical, but with every single race she's been training very well coming to this race. Looking over her workout patterns, coming into this race, she's training a lot better than, going into that Fairgrounds Oaks, going into that main special weight, and I think she's on the improvement, and I think she's sitting on the race for her life at 10 to 1 with a lot of speed. If there's going to be a pace meltdown, I think she could get the job done. So we'll use her here on the ticket. Don't throw out the 6 horse Slumber Party. 3-year-old filly by Malibu Moon. Kelly Breen trains. Ira Cheese Jr. gets the mount. Most recently, they ran the horse in the Belmont at Keelan over the about 7 furlong trip, where the horse finished 2nd by 1.5 lengths. Sat back early, really closed up well late, just not 100% fresh. It's showing different dimensions closing up from the back of the pack. I thought it was a good race. Coming here with a versatile type, I think this horse could really go a long way. Also, the buyers have been very fast, and she's training very well into this run. 6 to 1, we're definitely going to use this horse. Don't throw out the 10 horse either. Day out of the office is 3-year-old filly by Into the Mischief. Timothy Ham trains, gets Corrales up in the saddle. Most recently, they ran the horse in the Bruce Cup Juvenile Fillies, where the horse placed behind Vaquest that day. Basically sat in the front and all throughout, just couldn't get the mile 16th, cutting back to 7. It's more in the horse's wheelhouse, but the biggest question with this horse is, can she run fresh? But her 2-year-old form was very good. She won the Frisette very nicely, a little drifting late, but she still got the job done. And then before that, in the Schuylerville, winning by 6 at 20 to 1, she could have won around another 5 times and still won that easily. That was an all-around good race. Very quick horse, training very well at Keelan. And I do like how they had the workouts this winter at Tampa, so that's a very demanding track. So, she went from a demanding track to a less demanding track. So I think she has the fitness, but still, without fitness, prove that she can run off the bench in a grade 1 quality race or a grade 2 quality race. At 3 to 1, we'll figure her out because we're going to use her on the ticket because she definitely went off that 2-year-old form with a return to a sprinting trip. And the 5 horse Windmill also, I think, is a horse that's in the up and up. Most recently, they ran the horse in the Purple Martin, where the horse placed that day, where the horse just couldn't get there late, just kind of was a little shying away. But before that, in Dixie Belle, the horse went by length, really closing up from a nice dog position, and then broke the main before that Oak Lawn very nicely. Training very, very well most recent workouts. 10 to 1 with Mike Smith up. We'll use him on the ticket, or her on the ticket. But to recap my selection for the 9th from Churchill, it is the 8 Bell Stakes. Let's take the 7 horse Obligatory as a top selection. Like I said, we'll give kudos to the 6 horse Slumber Party, the 10 horse Day Out of the Office, and the 5 horse Windmill. 7, 6, 10, 5 super, and we'll use all 4 of those horses in this pick 6. Like I said, this 8 Bells race this year came up very, very strong, and it's going to be a head scratcher. So let's get to the 10th race now from Churchill, which is the Twin Spires Turf Sprint. It's a grade 2 event going for a purse of $250,000, race for 3-year-olds and up. We have a field here of 11 horses heading to the Mount Win Turf Course, the distance of ground of 1,100 meters, or the distance of ground of 5.5 furlongs on the Churchill Turf Course. 1,100 meters, 5.5 furlongs, turf. My top selection here, we're going to go take the number 8 horse. The 8 horse Fast Boat will go 8-2, 3-11 in the superfecta, 8-2, 8311 Super, top selection 8 horse, fast boat. This 6-year-old given by City Zip. Joe Sharp trains. Tease Jr. gets the mount. The horse's most recent outing came in the turf sprint at Sam Houston, 5 furlongs the 31st January, and the horse won by a neck. Basically, sat back early, great wide turn of foot, and got the job done. That's a stereotypical kind of race where you want a turf sprinter to win by. An all-around good race. 2 back, though, and the horse just really didn't run well at the fairgrounds on the 16th of January in a black-type stakes. Over the 5.5, the horse finished 4th by 2 3/4 lengths and could really never get out. It wasn't the day to win, and then prior to that, again at the fairgrounds, 5.5 in a stakes race, the horse finished 5th by 2.5 lengths. Again, just didn't do well there. I don't know if this horse likes the fairgrounds turf course, because all those races for him there haven't been the best for him, but he loves this turf course. 3 for 2 on it. Most recent race locally came on the 12th of June, 5 furlongs and optional 80, winning by 4 3/4 lengths, earning a triple-digit buyer of 104. This horse just took off clear, beating a British Cup winner home Bullton. So good race. After that, he ran a very good place, 4th place finish in the Shakertown in an all-out finish. He just couldn't get there, the head and front late, but there was nothing bad about that race. And then ran the Woodford at Keelan after that, where he finished 5th by 2 1/4 lengths on a turf course that had a little bit too much give for him. He just really couldn't keep up. But when he sees a very fast course, he can really run good races. And like I said, he likes his turf course. But his worst race here, a lifetime, came here. And so if you want to just slightly take that out, that came on the 13th of June of 2019 here at Churchill, 5.5 out 6-2, where he finished ninth by 9 3/4 lengths. And really, from a stupidly wide poster, he was never comfortable there with the turf rails out, and he can never get into it. But after that, really ran a good race at Ellis, and then after that, won a very good Kentucky Downs turf sprint, and followed that up with another very good Keelan turf sprint victory. If you throw out the fairgrounds races as of recently, he's been a very good horse. He's training well, and I like him from the wide poster at 7-2. Definite winner on this card. Also, don't throw out the 2-horse Guildsman. This 4-year-old gelding by Wooden Bassett. Brendan Walsh trains. Umberto Rispoli gets him out. Most recently, Keelan going 5.5 off the bench. He needed the race. Finished 4th by 5 1/4 lengths. Also, he lost a show. I didn't lose a show. He lost show. But it was a little bit wide that day. He just couldn't get into it. Like I said, not 100% fresh. And then before that, they were in before go at turf weight in mid-January, where he finished ninth by 5 lengths. Not really showing up there. But his races in turf sprints where he sees a very good pace, he does very well. He likes to get a good turn of foot to close with. I think we'll see it today from the inside at 10-1. We'll definitely use him. And the 3-horse Fire, has a lightly raced kind of horse and few and far between races, but always runs these good races on the front end. If there's a horse that can steal on the front end, I think it could be him. So we'll definitely use him in the multis. But to recap my selection for the 10th from Churchill, it is the grade 2, $250,000 Twin Spires turf sprint as a top selection here. We're going to take the 8-horse fast boat, give kudos to the 2-horse Guildsman and the 3-horse Fire, 8-2-3-11 in the superfecta, 8-2-3 in this pick 6. Let's get to the big 11th race from Churchill. The 11th race from Churchill, it is the Kentucky Oaks. It's a grade 1 event going for a purse of $1.25 million. Race for 3-year-old fillies. We have a full field of 14 horses entered to go the distance of ground of 1,800 meters, if you want to go by that, or the distance of ground of 1 mile and 1/8 on the Churchill main track. 1,800 meters, 1 mile and 1/8 here in the Kentucky Oaks. My top selection, we're going to go to the outside post draw to the number 12 horse here, search results. We'll go 12, 6, 10, 3 in the superfecta, 12, 6, 10, 3 super. Top selection 12 horse. Search results is 3-year-old filly by Flatter. Chad Brown trains. Tease Jr. gets the mount. The horse's most recent outing came the 3rd of April here in New York at Aqueduct. Mount Nathan the Gazelle, and the horse went by 2 3/4 lengths and had a great stalking position that day from a good wide post draw. Stalked all the way around the race course, quickened up nicely, and at 40 cents to the dollar, second off the bench. That was a very good run. Longer trip shouldn't be a problem. I think the horse should like the wide post draw, should leave from the outside and get good position to the first turn. And at 3-1, I think this horse is sitting on a very good run. 2 back in the Busher Invitational at Aqueduct, 1 mile on the 6th of March. The horse won by half length, and again, stalking position from a little bit of wide post draw, got the lead, maybe not 100% fresh, but still got the job done. A very good race there. And then the debut on the 3rd of January at Gulfstream, 6 furlongs, main special weight 42,000, winning by 4 lengths. a horrible beginning that day. Sat back early, slowly moved his way up, got the job done, winning going away. After all said and done, it was a very good debut. Like the trip, longer trip today, like I said, like the wide poster has the gate speed to overcome it. 3-1, training well, very likely winner. Along with the 6-horse Travel Calm, the 3-0 followed by Frosted, Brad Cox trains, Florent Giroux gets the mount. Now, most recent race came in the Fairgrounds Oaks at the Fairgrounds Mile, 16th to 20th of March. And the horse went by 2 3/4 lengths, was stupidly wide throughout the race, but still got the job on the front end, all around good run. And a lot of people might be thinking, oh, Fairgrounds, they never produce good horses there over their winter races. And like the Louisiana Derby doesn't really produce Derby winners. That's not, but this is the Fairgrounds Oaks. The Fairground Oaks is a very good kind of Kentucky Oaks kind of prep race. It's produced quite a few winners over the years, and coming here today, training well. This horse is sitting on a good run. Two back in the Rachel Alexander, though, at the Fairgrounds, mile 16th, 13th of February. The horse finished second by a neck, and just was lackadaisical that day. I don't think it was Florent's best ride. He out of the gate, he sat back early, slowly moved his way up, and then it got caught late by Clary. What can you do? I just don't think it was the horse's brightest moment there. And then back here in the Goldenrod at Churchill, mile 16, 20th of November, the horseman by length, sitting back early after not the best beginnings, a little crowded that day. For this horse to overcome the horrible beginning to win by length, I thought it was a very good race. And then prior to that, the Alcibiades of Keelan lost all chances at the beginning, didn't break that well, and just couldn't keep up there, but it's really improved a lot since that race. I thought the Goldenrod was a very good experience race for this race today, with a very big post draw and with the mid post draw. If the horse comes into trouble, the horse can really overcome it like she did in the Goldenrod. Training well, 3-1, definitely get a piece of it. And then throughout the 10 horse here, the 10 horse mouth at 3-0 foot by Curlin, Tom Pletcher trains. John Velasquez gets Matt. It's 5-2 favored, and they only bought the horse for just over $1 million, so they think highly of it. Most recently, they ran the horse in the Ashland of Keelan over the mile 16th, where the horse won by head, sat back early, great driving turn of foot, and won nicely, and could have probably won by a lot more if the race was longer. A very good return to the races. Second off the bench, again, the horse should really improve. Before that, the Demoiselle at Aqueduct on a very sloppy day in December, the horse won by 3/4 length, again from a wide poster. It was a little bit wide, but still got the job done, winning very, very easily there. And then before then, the Tempted, winning by 7 3/4 lengths on the front and all throughout. A very good run. I would love to see a horse that won the Tempted and the Demoiselle to win the Oaks again, because this horse, me being from New York, and especially Aqueduct, would love to see those races become relevant again. But this horse has been doing everything right. Second off the bench should, run even better. And like I said, they must think highly of the horse, because they only bought it for $1 million. Training well, 5-2, definitely use on the ticket. But to recap my selections now for the 11th from Churchill, it is the Grade 1, $1.25 million Kentucky Oaks. It's a top selection. We'll use the 12 horse search results. We'll give kudos to the 6 horse Travel Column and the 10 horse Mounthat, 12-6, 10-3 Superfecta, 12-6, 10 off the pick 6. So good luck to all, and please follow me on Twitter at HorseRacingKid5, and join me tomorrow for my Kentucky Derby preview. Good luck, everybody.